Hey guys, so I've just finished a 30 to 40 to 45 minute run, and it inspired me to do a little video on a post running stretch that would be really useful, because I know what it's like. We're all guilty of after a run just wanting to rush home and like skip out all the stretching because we're so happy with the run that we've just done. We're like buzzing off adrenaline and you just want to go home and like eat a really nice meal. So no, that's not the right thing to do. So first things first, make sure that towards the end of the run you walk home for at least like 2 minutes. Give yourself like 2 minutes to just like let the legs have a little bit of a walk. Okay, so first things first, gonna get on your mat, place the knees pretty much as wide as the mat, tops of the feet down to the ground, big toes together, and just let the arms, hands come out towards the top of the mat, take the bum back to the heels, sit back into your child's pose and just rest the forehead down onto the ground and just loosen the hips. Let yourself rock sort of from side to side, from left to right. Yeah, and then coming all the way back up. So you're sitting now just on the heels. Bring the knees together. And with the knees together, just bring your hands either side of the legs and just start to lift the knees like an inch or two off the mat. Maybe you can take them a little bit higher, maybe a little bit higher, as high as you can. So you're just stretching out the tops of the feet, the shins. Just hold for as long as you can. And release back down all the way to the floor. Take the hands out in front of you. So hands and knees on the floor, tuck all 10 toes, and then lift your bottom up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. Nice big stretch for the back of the legs, and you can pedal out the feet. One heel comes down, and the other heel comes down. Release the hamstrings, the calves, get into the hips. Just breathe into that lovely sensation. And if you are moving about in your downward facing dog, then just come to stillness. Both heels tracking down towards the ground. And really, as you bring both heels down towards the ground, see if you can slightly lift the toes up from the floor so you really get a nice deep stretch all the way through your legs, through the back of the legs. There, you're going to take your right foot in between the hands, drop the back knee down towards the ground and untuck the toes. And then you're just going to sink forwards into the hips nice and deeply. And you can just leave the hands either side of that front foot and just let that left hip bone come down towards the ground so you get a really nice deep stretch down the front of your back thigh. Breathe into that space. What you're going to do for the legs is you're going to bring yourself into like a half split position. So you bring the bum all the way back, and you can see here my bottom is in line with my knee, and then I'm flexing my foot so the toe points up towards the ceiling, hands either side of the foot. Breathe in and breathe out to just fold forwards over that front leg. Forwards, bring that right leg back and you up into your downward facing dog. So we can do the other side, and you bring the left foot in between the hands, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, sink forwards into the hips again, this time getting into the right side, pressing down the right hip bone down, coming down towards the ground. Just feel like the pelvis is coming down, and the weight of that is just allowing you to stretch out the right side. Breathing into that space, holding for a few breaths. And then of course, coming back with that left leg. Again, this side, my bottom is in line with my knee. My left leg is straight, my foot is flexed, the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, and then you just release the body over that front leg. And maybe here you can have a little play with like spreading the toes of your left foot, which activates your foot bandha, and it's going to just accentuate the stretch so much more. Coming forwards, tuck the back toes, downward facing dog. Good, and then from there you're going to come just down onto the hands and knees, back into your tabletop position, take the hands pretty much as wide as the mat, and then just take some big circles with the hips, because you know it's the hips and the legs, the hamstrings that get really tight when we are running lots. And then you just change direction. Back into your child's pose, drop the forehead down to the ground and just release. From here, you're just going to take yourself, just come down onto your back. And the last little stretch that we're going to do is just going to lie down onto your back. Hug the knees in towards your chest and just gently rock there from left to right to just massage out that lower back. Really nice, nourishing little massage after that hard run that you've just done. Good, and then just coming back to the centre, you're going to stretch the right leg down to the ground, and you're going to take the right hand to the outside of that left thigh. And then your left arm comes out to the side to stabilise the left shoulder. And you're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to stretch that left knee all the way down to the right side. Good, and just keep that left shoulder coming down towards the ground. You look over to the left, and then maybe here, if this feels good, you can then stretch out the left leg. Say hello to my foot. Stretch out the left leg so you start to get a stretch down the side of your left leg. You're getting into the IT band, which is the muscle that really gets tight when we run. So just hold there in that supine twist and IT band stretch, looking over the left side of your shoulder, breathing into that. Rebending the leg, bring it back to the centre. And then we'll do the other side, so just switch over, hug the right knee in towards your chest, pull it in nice and tightly. Left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh, right arm comes out to the side, stabilise that right shoulder. When I say stabilise the shoulder, I mean really ground it down to the mat, yeah? Take a breath in. And as you exhale, take that right leg over to the left, bringing it all the way down to the side. Keep looking over your right shoulder. Just staying for a few breaths, and then maybe you straighten out just like we did on the other side, the right leg. So you're now getting in to that IT band on the right side. Breathing deeply. Come back to the centre, rebending the right leg, hugging the knees in towards your chest. Just squeeze yourself into a tiny little ball. And then just release, and take maybe like a minute here, just lying still with the breath, with the eyes closed, just so you can like wind down. You just absorb all of that goodness that you've just done with your cardio, with the stretching.
Just feeling like the blood flowing through the body. And just breathing into that lovely sensation. You need here before you rush off into the next phase of whatever you've got for the rest of the day.